Alright, so we're here at the first map of Interloper. Now, the first thing you want to do is obviously save delete here, so that way you can end up in this position, sorta. And the goal here is to get over this little wall. It's really weird to see, yeah, here we go. So just get over this wall right here, just gotta get over it. The conventional strat is to put 3 satchels down here, long jump, and bounce off the side of this crystal rock thingy. That's what you're normally supposed to do. I have been, I don't know what I just, oh. I have been experimenting with a trip mine and a couple satchels to fly straight over that gap, but I haven't had much success. I've done it once and it's incredibly inconsistent, so I don't recommend that you do anything like that. So you want your satchels. I want to make sure that auto crouch jump is on. I did not know this when starting, but just always have that on. And the placement of these satchels don't really matter a whole lot. What matters is the amount of satchels and how close they are. So it's like 1, 2, bad. They're not close together. They got to be somewhat close together, something like that, so you can harness all the power into one central thing. So basically, Kovic likes to put the satchels on this flower. However, I don't really do that. I just sort of put them wherever. So I put them just, for example, 1, 2, 3, up, yeah, there. Now, this part's actually somewhat important. You can standing long jump detonate. You can do that, but it's kind of a weird angle to work with. And if you ever end up here, you can always just, like, you know, rocket jump over, boost over there. You just want to get over this dam so you can, like, just sort of progress through the water. You can alternatively, like, long jump while crouched, something like that. And this is a better angle, and I don't know how that worked, but I mean, we're over there, so that sort of worked. But what I like to do is to jump mid-crouch animation. So it's like if you crouch, like if you're holding crouch and then jump, your view model sort of like jolts up because of how the animation's canceled. I like to do that, so I like to go like this. And I'm always going to be able to hit the crystal while crouched. Use it as a ramp to just sort of launch yourself over. If you go this high, it's fine. Just fall down, land in the water, and hold space in the water while to shark across it. Maybe sneak in a couple of tower boosts if you can. Nothing much. If you get a really cool tower boost, you can like tower boost into the water while holding space, and you can sort of like ramp off of it. It's kind of like, it's really cool if you can do it, but I'm not good, so I'm attempting to demonstrate it right now. Oh, it's like you go down here, and you can long jump, and then, yeah, something like that. And now you're in the next level. Alright, so now we're here. We're going to want to save delete once again. On basically every map in Interloper, we always save delete. So first thing you just want to do, just, you know, progress through normally. You can sort of slide up this wall, or this, like, thing. So just, you know, slide up it normally. I'm not good at the game, ignore that. Like that. Like that. And then just drop down any way you can. And here's where the gargantuan, whatever the hell. This is where this sort of chase sequence takes place. So, oh no, I'm scared. Just go over here. Doesn't really matter, it doesn't really matter about the timing, just don't be too late and you should be fine. And then just over here, you can also hop over some parts of the wall where you don't think you should be able to, because I don't know why, but you can. So this boost can be done in a myriad of different ways. I know that Schwach does a different boost. I don't know what that boost is because I don't have internet and I cannot check. But what I do is that I throw a satchel and I try to put it at the edge of this sort of slope, this little ramp thing, this ramp looking thing, or you can put it inside like this. Yeah, like that. I'm gonna reload that save. Regardless of how you do it, you wanna crouch, like crouch into a slide and then long jump spam after detonating the satchel. And if you do it correctly, it'll look like this. Something like that. Notice how I crouched, detonated, and then spammed the scroll wheel to long jump. And this is actually pretty lucky because I got a lot of height. But if you don't have a lot of height and you sort of can't make it, there's this clip brush that blocks you. You can always just bail to the left and then continue as normal. But if you're lucky like that, you can just sort of strafe all the way over. And you can just go up here. If you fall down, just sneak through that little gap right there by crouching. I just long jump over here. Long jump over here like the shark for here a little bit. Then right here, you can basically damage boost any way you really can over. My personal method to do this is with the rocket launcher. That's better. So then we're here. And just Tau boost away like that. So once you're here, you just want to, like what I personally like to do, is I like to go up here and just sort of boost off of this little rock formation thing. I attempt to. However, you can boost any way you really can. The goal is just to get to the end of this as fast as possible so you can save delete again. So what I like to do sometimes is something like that, and then I can boost myself up here. There are better methods of boosting, but it really depends on preference. Just make sure you do not die. If you can't do this boost at all, it's not worth trying to get it, because it just makes the rest of the map a little bit difficult because of HP management. So just come up here, go to the left, and you can slide off of all these things, and then get to the water right here. Just swim up, start charging the Tau cannon, and then go to the left, and then and then you're supposed to boost into the level trigger, but if you go too low in the water, the Tau cannon will actually discharge on you, and it'll actually take a big chunk of your health with you. And if you go too deep in the water, you'll also start drowning and take start taking toxin damage. But moving on, we're gonna do another save delete here, and just make your way up here. I like to long jump sometimes. I got 2 long jumps off there somehow. I don't know how, but I did. Just long jump any way you can. I'm bad. Shoot these little acid things to explode the gate, and then come up into here. Now pick up this ammo. This is actually really important just because it has satchels. No, it has an SMG nade and some Tau ammo, which you might need later. But coming up to here is the only method of clipping that's ever really been found in Zen. Basically what we want to do here is we want to get caught in this barrier right here and save load down. If you don't get it, I don't recommend reloading and going for it. It's one of those things where if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I think it saves around 5 seconds, if not a little more. So just crouch, aim to the corner, boost with the satchel. No, boost with the SMG, and then save load down. I didn't get it because I didn't have a good angle. I'm going to try that again. There, I got it. So this is incredibly difficult, and the only way it saves time is if you maintain speed through here. I have 0 velocity right now, so I'm stuck in this position. What I have to do is boost myself with the Tau cannon. See how I got a little bit extra speed on the top right in the show pass? You don't have to tap fire, I'm just doing this for demonstration. But just keep holding crouch and just start save loading, and then you'll save load into the next room where you would normally have to like walk around to get to. I don't recommend going for this if you can't really get it. I didn't go for it in a lot of my runs. And for this part, you want to shoot these little things through the wall. So what I like to do is get into this corner, aim at this little part of the wall right here and just start shooting. Sometimes I like to work my way up and down, and yep, there you go, I shot it. Like I was able to shoot the barrel or the thing because it bounced off this wall and hit it. You can do it up close. I believe world record does it. It doesn't really matter, whatever works for you, but I find it more comfortable to get in the corner and shoot from afar. Yeah, see right there. It's kind of weird to go for. It's one of those things where if you have the lineup down, you can get it consistently in one try. And as well, if you see this little like refraction thing with the line right here, that's how you know that you're getting close. See, there you go, I got it. Now for this boost. This boost, there are 2 methods that I know for the boost. There are There's two methods I know for this boost. There's the easier one, and then there's the harder one, and there are two variants of the harder one. I'm going to show the easier one first. So you want to like long jump and slope boost off of this little rock looking thing. So just take a satchel, drop it somewhere. I like to drop it around here. A little comparison just in case you want to know exactly where it is. Doesn't really matter, but what matters is that you know the general location. It's not like pixel perfect or anything. I don't like this guy moving. So just, you know, walk into it, long jump, and then detonate. And you can get up here. As well, if you get a boost like that, where you go straight up, you can always land on the green pipes and long jump over that wall right there, and just progress to the end of the map. Yeah, something like that. Oh, I just bounced off that. That was incredibly lucky. But yeah, generally you can have them, the satchels staggered, or you can have them right side to side or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Just have them in a consistent position, and this is one of the boosts that I recommend that you practice with a bunch of random setups, so that way you get better and better at them. I haven't practiced in quite a while, so I'm missing a couple of these, but yeah, something like that. Always bounced off of it again. Nice. So the harder setup for this is really, really difficult. I've only gotten it by standing in this corner and then starting. That's how inconsistent it is. I need to have a very specific lineup for it. But the idea, the general idea, is to long jump, shark, throw a satchel, have it detonate behind you, and then slope off of this to get up there. The only reason it is faster is because you might be able to get a cleaner launch, and you only throw down one satchel. This is also one of those strats that I do not recommend you go for, unless you feel very confident and have been practicing. So I'm going to try to do that here. I don't practice this setup at all because I don't think it's viable for me. But generally just, yeah, something like that. That is basically what you want. You can also do this alternatively with an SMG nade, but however, we did the clip up there where you can clip through the wall. You can do it with a rocket launcher as an alternative, but I like to do it with the SMG nade just because it's preference. And we move on. Yeah, once again, we saved delete. Who could have guessed? Now we're on this map. There's going to be an item thing that spawns right here. You want to pick this up. I can't remember exactly why we need all of this, but there's an SMG nade in here, which is probably important. Can't quite remember. Just pick this up every time. Shoot these explosive barrels while sharking and crouching. And there are some things you can do here. There are some routes you can take. This is kind of weird, but general idea, you want to get on top of there. See that gate? You want to cross over it, like climb on top of it or get over it. So the first setup is the one that mostly everyone is familiar with. You place the satchels in the center of the fan, look in this general area, crouch, long jump, and detonate. And you fly up all the way into here, and then you can progress. I want to say you could hit this right here. Haven't really tried it yet. Oh, but I guess you can, yeah. So that's going to be my new strategy I just found during the tutorial. So put two satchels here, look at this thing, long jump, and then there you go, you're all the way at the end. And as well, this is what this SMG nade was here for. This part is actually kind of important. So I'm going to make a hard save so I can load it back later. I think it's... Actually, no. I think you can line up here and go 1, 2, 3. And then when they're all like ready to detonate, you look at this corner and then crouch, then jump with the SMG nade. Yeah, that's what you would do. And then you can go on as normal. However, I do a different boost. I do a slightly different boost. So what I like to do is I like to put a trip mine down somewhere around here, general area. And I put a satchel behind it. Like that. Then I get in the front of both of them. Something like this. And then I look at this wall right here, so I can long jump and bounce into it, so I don't hit the ceiling, and I can clear the gap and get all the way up there. The only reason this is faster is because it has a faster setup, and it's harder without a lineup. I think it's easy with a lineup, but it is what it is. And then there you go. I just long jump, detonate, and I can bounce all the way up here. I don't recommend you go for this if you're new, but if you really want to, then try it. I don't recommend you do it in runs unless you feel confident. Because if you mess it up, it's like, yeah, there, I just messed it up. So if you get here, for example, one of the things that I found you can do, there are probably alternatives such as rocket jumping, but the way that I was able to do this was that I use a grenade, and then long jump, and then, okay, I don't know how that worked, but I'm supposed to do a standing long jump, something like this, where I'm supposed to put this here, stand, quantum pause, and then the grenade can like boost me up like that. I don't know how that worked by just going backwards, but that's one of the ways that I know how to get up there if you fail it. Yeah, this boost can be pretty difficult. You see right there, I didn't put a long jump in, so that's one of the harder parts of it, squeezing in a long jump for no reason. So now here, cool, congratulations. Come down here, charge the towel cannon, boost your way up here, and then just make your way to the level trigger. And then we're going to save delete on this map once again. Who could have guessed? So right here, there are, once again, a multitude of... This is every map. Once again, there's many ways you can do this. But general idea, you want to long jump to the left. Get on the pod, tower boost onto this pod. And I'm going to try to remember the lineup that Kovic did in his tutorial. But I remember he took a little bit of armor. I'm going to take 160 armor just to play on the safe side. But I think what he did was, I think he put 1, 2, 3, then he put 2 satchels like that, got in front of both of them, and then, yeah, that's what he did. And then he can boost all the way up into this vent on the left. And, let me see if, yeah, like that. In this vent, and then look up into the other vent, hold W before leaving the first vent. Before leaving the first vent, hold W. And then just make your way up to here into the level trigger. So the setup that I'm currently going to show you is the way that I do it. I drop a satchel down here, I'm going to turn on my flashlight, right down here, somewhere around this area. Long jump, detonate, and then I pulled out the towel cannon out of habit. Long jump, detonate. And I'm going to throw a second satchel to boost myself farther and give myself more speed. So, like that. And then now we're currently here. I am going to crouch. I pause so I uncrouch, but I'm going to crouch again. I'm going to keep holding crouch. I'm going to look up, and the idea is to slope off of this wall all the way up. And if you're lucky, you can sort of do it with only 2 satchels and maybe get up to the first vent. At that point, just cut your losses. It is what it is. Don't reload. But now we're here. And I'm going to throw a satchel straight up so I can force myself straight down. You can also do this with a rocket launcher, but I think it's way harder. Yeah, something like that. This is what I like to do. And then I can get right over here, tower boost, and then right into the level trigger. Just when you save delete, do not move it at all. Pull out the rocket, and then the point of this little rock right here, and this line on this piece of like metal, not metal, I'm stupid, piece of like environment. Just line it up with the crosshair, and then crouch, then move backwards and boost with the rocket. Not like that, though. I'm trash. Yeah, like that. And you can get up here. And you can get up here and just keep going as normal. You can also get a bigger launch if you... Yeah, like that. Just keep going. When you're going through this like thing with the pods, just destroy the monsters inside to progress a little bit faster. And right here, what I like to do, and what Kovic also showed in this tutorial, is that when you get out here, just go to this little spot on the ground right here, put 2 satchels down, and then long jump against this wall to fly over this wall and down through a hole. Something like that. I didn't really get too powerful of a launch, but it's fine. Something else to note is that you sort of have to fall straight down in this general area because there are some invisible walls that tend to block you. But just fall down here, and then the level trigger is actually right here. And Kovic said that when you fall down in here, there's actually like a 1 or 2 tick window where the long jump fall damage canceller thing, it doesn't activate immediately. So if you fall straight down into this hole into the next level, you will die. Like 100% of the time. Do not try it. Just put 2 satchels down here, long jump, and get all the way over there. Maybe squeezing that tower boost if you think you're not going to make it. I take out the tower cannon basically every time I can get, because if I don't get a good boost, I can always boost myself over like that. And yeah. So right here, what I tend to do sometimes is just long jump over. Avoid the pods any way you can. Just slide normally and then long jump off the tip of that ramp. Just spam scroll wheel to get all the way over here. The way the world record does it is kind of different. It uses... World record uses an SMG boost. I believe around here, if I'm not mistaken. But it's pretty difficult. If you really do want to fit an SMG boost in, you can always fit in one right here, like at the start. And if you're really lucky, you can like air strafe your way around. It's really difficult, but I mean, whatever works for you. That was something I was experimenting with for a while, but I was never able to get it consistent. Something I was experimenting with was using a rocket launcher to skip this strafe area. I don't recommend you go for it because it's not very consistent for me. It's also stupidly difficult, or at least I think it is. I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe you can get it first try, I'm not too sure. Come up here and long jump off this platform if you can't slide all the way up there. And now we have this boost. I want to have at least 100 health and 35 shield. So you can obviously go a little bit less, but that's the number I like to do for like safety. So what you do is that you put down 3 satchels, 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna skip this entire portion of the game. Take out the detonator, crouch, long jump, and then detonate. The timing is pretty tight because if you go too high, you'll actually hit the skybox. I somehow didn't hit the skybox and somehow bounced to the end. But if you don't do it right, it'll look like this, where you'll just hit the skybox. I've had this problem many times, and the way that I fixed it was by fully crouching and then long jumping. Sometimes it wouldn't work out, but just basically remember to fully crouch, slide, long jump, and detonate. And then, yeah, if you get here, just cut your losses. Don't try to boost again. Destroy the things that keep the barriers open, and then just continue on through the rest of the level. I'm going to try to do it in one try, just for demonstration. That should be good. Yep. And, yeah, you can sort of weave between that. I do believe that Johan takes a different route on the right side of the pillars. I find it way, way harder. And once again, we're going to save delete on this map. So coming up on this map, just save delete again, and then make your way over to this pad any way you really can. And coming up here is a trick known as Vorty Door. Now, I'm not going to show Vorty Door because I don't really know how to do the second part of the trick, but I know how to do the first part. So what Vorty Door is that there is a door. Well, no, there's not really a door. There's like a chamber where Vortigon goes to heal himself. What you can do is go through the chamber without having the chamber stop healing you when you're outside of it. So just run into here and then save load. And I might have gotten it, maybe. I didn't get it. So one of the things about Vorty Door is that it's also one of those tricks where if you don't get it, just don't go for it again. Yeah, there. So I got Vorty Door. And now what the game is going to do is that it's going to heal me for the entire, like, while I'm outside of the thing. Alright, so I got Vorty Door again. There's a lineup where you can bounce off of that and fly up into there. It's in the strats document. So we're going to get healed by the door, like, for the entire time. And this allows us to do this boost differently. So this is a pretty hard boost. And this is cursed. So come over here, go to these flowers. I put down 1, 2, 3 trip mines on the first one, and because of how we have Vorty Door, the game is going to give us shield whilst outside of the thing. So I'm going to put 2 satchels here. Normally you would do 2. But I put 3 down here when I get Vortidor. So we can go up here. There's no lineup here on this first part. Just line up in the general placement of the satchels and stuff. Try to make sure that the satchels are in the right orientation as well, and make it consistent. These are not in the right orientation because I'm bad. And look at this dot. And then I like to look either at the center or to the left of it. And the idea is to slope boost off of this all the way up. And I'm going to see if I can get it first try. Nope. Notice how I almost died there? That's because when you have 3, yeah, that's kind of what tends to happen. So if that tends to happen, what you can do is just either move forward a little bit and then redo the boost. Only do this boost with 3 satchels when you have Vortidor. So normally if you're fast enough, or if you're good enough rather, you can boost all the way you can boost all the way up. Oh yep, this is gonna be it. No, you can squeeze between through this gap and this gap to skip all the way to the top, but it's really difficult, and I don't recommend that you reload over it. Just fall down and land on this jump pad thing. There is an alternative to that boost, but it's kind of easy. I don't have the internet, so I can't show it. But if you join the Black Mesa Discord server, it is in a text channel called Strat Links, and it's in a like big strat spreadsheet that you can look through. So anyways, if you don't get that, just charge the Tau Cannon and then like bump the side of the, you know, the boost thing, the jump pad. Just touch it, strafe, and then just strafe around these things. And then just boost down the middle set of conveyor belts. Hit the jump pad again. Oh. And then hit the farthest jump pad, so that way you can transition to the next map. Like, so you can transition the quickest. Notice how I misclicked, but because of how we have the Vortidor state still, we can still like maintain shield. So if you have enough health, you can just rocket boost yourself down there to go a little bit faster. It's not too much faster, but it's something. And then once we're here, we want to save delete. And this trick is probably the hardest trick in the game, at least in my personal opinion. So we're going to save delete, break open this vent, and this is elevator skip. So I'm going to make a hard save. Now this is actually very important that you make a hard save here, because you can very easily mess up this first boost, and having a hard save here is a saving grace if you want to keep it going. Now for the first part, you want to do a lineup with a very specific circle or a very specific dot on the ground. This dot is located at negative 963 roughly on the first coordinate in the show pos. And it can take some time to find it, but I'm basically already there just by coincidence. Like, I'm very close to it, I can tell. It's been a while since I've done this. This dot, this dot, it's this dot right here. This dot. It's kind of hard to make out from the other dots, but just remember the coordinates, negative 9,763. And you can use that as like a pretty good reference point. Something else to note about this trick is that I'm going to have to reload the save so I can hit the first cycle. But something to note about this trick is that you have to do it fast. Not only is this trick hard to set up, but you have to do it very quickly for it to save time, because you have to beat the first cycle of the elevator. And now, in the center of the dot, just generally around here, now you're going to look at the angle value 137. So it's going to look like this. It's 107. It's 137.0 to 137.5 roughly. So then once we're here, you're going to shoot 3 SMG nades straight up, and then you're going to look at this dot right here, this dot. And what you're normally supposed to do is, for demonstration, what you're supposed to do is that you're supposed to look at this dot, throw a grenade, slide backwards for a little bit, and then unpause. But I like to do this personally with the Tau Cannon. like that. I like to look at this with the Tau cannon, slide backwards and hit it, and I unpause, or I press escape, and immediately make a save. You don't need to crouch after doing this, just make sure that you make a save. And then I'm going to pause the game real quickly. I'm going to hit this wall, strafe off of it, and fly to the top of the elevator shaft. And the reason I made the save is so I can try it immediately again. And if you miss it, just charge your Tau cannon and try to flick your way in here. I'm kind of bad. There we go. So now we're on this part of the map, or this part of the elevator. So once you're here, just whip out your gluon gun, break open these pods and kill these monsters in it immediately, because we're gonna do a very difficult setup, which requires that they be gone, so that way they don't shoot the trip mines and like mess up the entire trick. So you have to go to one of these two sides. Like the one gives you health and the other one gives you health and shield. We want the one with health and shield. The way you can tell is by, if you're in the center, and if you're looking at either one, the beam on the right side is the one you want to go to. That one, the beam is on the left side, this is on the right side, so I'm going to go over here. And once again, I got to do this very quickly. So stand in here for a little bit. I like to have around like 85 to 90 health, so I think this is good. Gonna make a hard save once again. See this line right here? We're gonna put down 3 trip mines and 1 grenade, 1 live grenade. And we're gonna long jump into that and then slope off of this. It's really, really hard. So basically just 1, 2, 3, and then get the grenade out, drop it in front of this, long jump, long jump, quantum pause, and I have this command bound. You can just press escape and it'll work just as fine. But I have, I type in this command so that way when I enter it, I have a save I can load back to like this. So I now have a save I can load back to try this trick again. Keep in mind when you pass through those red lasers, you need to have a lot of HP or you will die from it. That is the entire reason why we go to like this side right here. And this boost is also pretty difficult to do. Like, it's pretty difficult to get the long jump in, and you need auto crouch jump on. I should have said this before, but you need auto crouch jump for this to work. I figured that out the hard way one time. So once again, we're here. Gonna go all the way up here. And then, this is actually pretty high. I've never really... Oh yeah, so I died there. That's unfortunate. If you go this high up, you can just bonk your head on the ceiling and it's fine. Just destroy these things any way you can. Try to make sure you don't die like me. I'm gonna go and heal here for a little bit and go immediately back in. Back in for more. And then go over here. Oh my gosh, I'm going to die. Just destroy all 3 of them, like individually, one by one. And then there are some invisible aliens right here, indicated by these green things. I'm also standing in this pod area so I can heal. Just gonna heal up to as much as I can. And then break this. So then this thing over here opens. And now is also one of the harder boosts. What we're gonna do here is boost to the top of the elevator shaft. And then hit a trigger to transition to the next map. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna put 2 satchels down. 1, 2. I like to put them near the light, but you can obviously put them closer if you're feeling risky. 1 satchel here, 2 satchels here, 3 satchels here. Get to the edge and long jump, and then immediately pull out your rocket launcher, like as soon as you can after you long jump and detonate, because we're gonna do some boosts along this main pillar. So just detonate, like long jump, detonate. If you're getting in this position where you hit the ceiling, just get closer to the edge. I messed up the satchel placement, so I'm a little like off about this. Kovic likes to chain all 3 of his rockets in the center pillar. I don't do that. I like to chain the 3rd one off the wall on the side because I can get more speed off of it. Make sure that you aren't holding many directional keys. If you're holding any, make sure to hold W so you can boost yourself straight into this pillar at the central side. And these crystals as well, they give you health and armor back. So if you want to spend a little bit more time in there, feel free to. But, yeah, we just barely made it. There's a trigger here that's on a time delay. You can actually miss this trigger, but basically, we're here right now. We're on this ledge. We're just going to jump into the middle or into the air and unpause. And we just changed levels. I didn't do anything else. Just jump in the air, unpause in the air, and it'll change maps. And you actually don't want to save delete on this map, because if you do, you won't have any weapons. So now we're on this map, and just make your way through here, pick up the canisters on the side, get sucked up into this vent. What you can do, what I like to do sometimes is just make my way up here normally and then throw a satchel behind and then slope your way up there. I don't recommend doing it because I'm bad and I can't find a consistent way to do this. But just try to get to the end of this little thing as soon as possible. World Record does something different. World Record does an actual lineup against the wall. I'm going to try to demonstrate that here. What they like to do is satchel right here, and then like long jump, and then bump themselves off of the side here to fly right to the end. It's really hard. It's really hard to do, just know that it's somewhat possible. I'm not one to talk about the satchel placement though. I messed up my PB last time because of it. Just make your way up here any way you can. But I messed up elevator skip pretty bad, so I'm gonna take a little bit of health. Like I messed up the rocket boost at the end a lot. Like I didn't stop in the middle for the healing, like the healing ring, like I normally do. But what you can do here is just get on, in order to get onto the second like floor up there, just drop a satchel here, drop another satchel here, and slope boost off of this little thing to get all the way up here. You can actually do this with only one satchel, but muscle memory sucks, and I do it with two. But most people, I would recommend you do it with one. Now for here, we want to get to the end of this as fast as possible. Doesn't matter, we just have to survive, because we will save delete on the next map. So I like to take a rocket, boost like that, throw a satchel, and then have it detonate behind me, and then slope right to the end, where we will save delete on the next map. And that is Interloper.